Hello tailors, hello designers, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaiz Alexandro and I'm your fashion business coach, and today we will be talking about a very important topic. A lot of people have issues with this, and I would like to thank Magda for bringing it up, and I think I'll put the comment somewhere here so that you guys can see what she was talking about. And that topic is pricing. This is something a lot of people have a problem with, pricing their goods. They feel like sometimes it's hard to set a price on them, and because sometimes you risk overpricing and then locking yourself out of a market, or underpricing and then not making any money. So today I will give you some tips on how to do that, how to set a price for your goods so that you and your customers end up happy. So please stick around till the end of the vlog for more. So the first method that you can employ to price your goods is by looking at what other people in your market are doing. So that's your competitors and what your clients think as well. So what does that mean? If Kimani is setting his price at, let's say, 5,000 shillings, and you produce goods that are similar to Kimani, and Kimani's clients seem to be okay and happy to pay this amount, then you can go ahead and just, depending on your skills compared to Kimani, set your price. I wouldn't go more than 500. So if Kimani is setting his price at 5,000, you should be plus or minus up to $500 around Kimani's price. Now, this is a method that you can employ when you're not sure how the market works, or when you're not sure the value you bring to the market. And so it's a good way to start off, but I would not recommend you stay here, mainly because you're not considering your costs when you are setting this price, which is dangerous if your prices do not cover the cost it takes to run your business. I would not recommend use this method for too long, or even at all, to be honest, because you're not considering your costs, and if you're not at least covering the cost it takes to run your business, then why are you in business in the first place? So method number one is okay, but not great. The second method is, obviously, maybe after saying cost so many times, is considering your cost, working out your costs. Oh my gosh, I've said cost so many times because it's important. You work out how much it costs to run your business. Money. How much money would it take to run your business? There's something that's called fixed cost and another that's called variable cost. The fixed cost, oh my God. The fixed cost is those expenditures that don't change from month to month. This could be your rent, if you the rent for the shop that you're running, renting your equipment, that could also be included in that type of cost. So this fixed costs are things that don't change from month to month. The other type of cost is the variable cost. So it's the opposite of the fixed cost. So they change monthly, and you might have to make some allowances here and there to balance out the changes from month to month. I'll give you an example. So let's say your total clients for the year are about 100. This is a ballpark. I'm not sure what the average is, but let's give it a number, 100. And your costs from your monthly costs are, let's say, 15,000 shillings. So 100 people come to your shop a year. That gives us an average of 8 people per month who come to your shop, and I'm rounding down just to get rid of the decimals. It's about 8.3. If you divide 100 by 12, it's about 8.3. Now, if 8 people per month, you get 8 people per month on average to your shop, and your costs is 15,000 every month, you can divide the amount of costs with the amount of people you get in your shop, your amount of clients, to know how much each garment is going to cater for your costs. 15,000, you divide that amount of cost by the amount of people, so you know that at the minimum your product should cost at minimum 1,875. So if 8 people come to your shop every month, and at the very minimum you charge them 1,875, you are guaranteed that you are at least will be able to pay rent and get your business going. So this will help you calculate your break-even point, the point at which your business is able to be sustained without making any money. Pricing model number 3. Now that you have determined your cost, this method will also help you to mark up your price. Now remember, we calculated our cost at 1,875, that's 1,875 in the previous method. Now we are going to mark up, and we've decided that we would like to make 50% more than what it takes to produce this product. Per my calculation, that brings us to 2,812. So I hope my math is correct. Somebody correct me if this is wrong, because I am not a math major, but I think it follows. Okay, so let's recap. We calculated our cost per month to be 15,000 shillings, and we also calculated on average we calculated on average we get 8 people per month coming to a shop. So we can, from those two figures, calculate how much each person can cover, how much each good from these 8 people can cover our costs. We divided those two numbers and we got 1,875. That is the price per one article of clothing or per one good that you've produced that will break even. That's just covering the costs. Now with method number 3, we are trying to mark up our prices at a percentage so that instead of just covering the costs, we are making a little bit more to help us grow our business, to help us, go to school and learn new skills, to just grow ourselves. You just don't want to be treading the water. Remember, we are out here trying to grow businesses, so we want to make a little bit of extra money. Who doesn't? So I just picked up a random number. I said 50%. I want to make 50% more than what it cost me to produce this one thing. So we marked up our prices by 50% and we arrived at 2,812.50 cents. We don't do cents in Kenya, so I'll round up to 2,813. Now, Kenyans really don't do, and I think a lot of people, we don't do like 2,812. You probably hear somebody say 2,850 or 2,900 or something like that. Although probably round up all the way to 3,000. But you know that at this point you've marked out your prices by 50%. So if you round up to 2,900, you're still in the clear. I like this method because on top of considering your costs of goods sold, you're also considering a markup where you are able to make a profit and also able to, to keep some money aside to do some growth, to do some training and to help your business and yourself grow. So this is a method that I personally don't mind using. Okay. The fourth method is consider the terms of payment. Now, sometimes you can be flexible on how your clients can pay you depending on what you're making for them. For example, a wedding dress takes a little bit longer than a regular old fashion statement piece or a special occasion dress, because it's more intricate, it's more labor intensive. And so you can talk to your clients and ask them if they're willing to pay over a duration of time. Let's say if it's going to take you 3 months to make this dress, ask them to pay every month a certain amount of money to cover all the costs as you keep working on it. Some people, what you can do is also mark down that price. So if, let's say, producing a wedding dress is gonna cost 30,000, this is also a figure I'm just plucking from the air, okay? Don't come for me. It's like, oh, my wedding dresses cost 100,000. I don't know what you're talking about. You can use that figure too. I'm just giving an example. So let's say you're making a wedding dress that costs 30,000 shillings, and you're going to be making this over a period of 3 months. Okay, so you can talk to your client and tell them that I will be charging you 10,000 shillings per month until this dress is finished. Or you can say, if you pay me upfront, I will mark it down by 5,000 shillings. So instead of you having to pay 30,000 at the end, pay me 25 now, and I will give you a finished product at the very end. So these two methods it depends on what you're comfortable with. You can get a full amount of money and the trust of your client that you will deliver, right? And you can work on the dress as the time goes by. And the good thing about this is that you don't run the risk of your client running out on you when the product is done and they haven't paid for it. On the flip side, the client also has to trust you enough to give you the full amount up front for you to work on something. So this method depends on the relationship you have with that particular client and your comfortability with working over a long duration of time. Again, just use a method that works best for you and your business in one particular instance or a situation. So each situation is different, so make sure you choose something that works for that situation. There are other factors. So this is number 5. Remember to consider factors that are out of your control, such as VAT, like value added taxes, seasonal demand changes, so Christmas versus the middle of July, for example, or wedding season versus non-wedding season. So these things will obviously determine how you price your products. If there's a high volume of orders, then you have to mark up your products just so because the demand is high. If you know your market and you know that your clients are willing to pay to get something done from you, and it's December or it's November, you can mark up your prices by, let's say, 3% and make a little bit extra based on your clientele. So now, this means you have to know your market, you have to know your clients, and this only takes time. You can't just start marking up things out of the blue. You need to know who you're working with and what time of the seasonal cycle you are in to do this. But if you do it well, it might play in your favor and you end up making more money during the high peak season that will help you kind of offset the low peak season when the customers are not that many. Before I continue on to the next point, the last final point, if you liked this video, please give it a like and a share, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. If you didn't like it, which some people might not, comment and tell me what you didn't like about it and how I can improve. Constructive criticism is a good thing. I am not above it. I would like to hear your opinion on it. So please comment below on how I can better help you. And now, 6. Keep vigilant. You want to know what is happening in your market. You want to know what other people around you are doing. Don't stay in your tunnel. Don't stay in your little cocoon and say, oh, I have good customers, they're coming every month, I don't have to worry about what other people are doing. No. You need to know what your competitors are doing so you can improve yourself. You can work on yourself and create better value for your clients to keep them coming. If you stay complacent, if you stay just here the same, they will go out looking for your competitors who are improving themselves. So stay vigilant on market trends, stay vigilant on what the competition is doing and how they're pricing their products, so you can also create value for your clients and for yourself and move your prices accordingly. And don't be afraid to test out new prices. Don't be afraid to test out new things. That is the only way you're going to learn, and that is the only way you get feedback from your clients. And remember to listen. Don't be, I'm the tailor, I know what I'm doing. Listen to what your clients are doing, because after all, you are creating these things for them. You are doing this for them, and without them, you won't be working and you won't be in business. So you want to make sure you're creating the relationship with your clients, as well as being vigilant as to what is going on around you to keep ahead of the curve. I hope this video has brought value to you, and please comment below with what method would work best for you, or what method you're going to employ today. I would like to hear that, and I would like to know how your business is doing. If you have any questions about how you run your business, you can email them to me at kupsimarketplace@gmail.com. Please go to kupsi.com to sign up and stay informed on content as it is being uploaded on the blog. And until next video, go out and create something beautiful. Bye bye.